Hello everybody, welcome to my channel KM19 Fundamentals by Abhi Chakravarti. Today I will be discussing through the concept of convective heat transfer coefficient. After that we will be discussing about some problems of combined conduction and convection. This will actually help you to visualize the situations where both the conductive heat transfer and convective heat transfer are important. So starting with what is convective heat transfer coefficient, if you say it is well known, we are having a formula here for convective heat transfer as shown, that is Q is equal to HA TW minus TF, where H is the heat transfer coefficient, Q is the heat transfer rate, A is the area, TW is the temperature of solid in surface in Kelvin, TF is the average of bulk temperature of the fluid. That will be subsequently coming to all of these terms and notations. As we all know, it is well known that a hot piece of material will cool faster when air is blown or forced past the object. When the fluid outside the solid surface is in forced or natural convection motion, we express the rate of heat transfer from the solid to the fluid or vice versa. So by this equation, we represent the convective heat transfer. How? Q is equal to HA, where Q is our heat transfer rate, or in short form I write it as HT rate. It has units of watt. So watts, it has units. Now A is the area for which is available for the heat transfer. So it is in meter square. HT, in short form I write it HT area, units are in meter square. So this big bracket symbolizes I am writing about dimensions. Now we are having TW. What is TW? TW is the temperature of solid surface in Kelvin. Temperature of solid surface in Kelvin, a solid surface through which the surface through which the heat is being taken out by the bulk motion of fluid. So in convection, as we see, our bulk fluid motion is very much important. So by the bulk transport of fluid, the temperature is basically taken from a solid surface or solid object body. In conductive heat transfer, what happens is that by the vibrational energy, the heat energy is transferred from one atom in the material to another atom. So there is a diffusion in conduction, there is diffusion of heat. So heat is transferred from one molecule or one electron to another electron by higher excited energy state, but in convective motion the heat is transferred by the bulk flow. So in this way TF is our average or bulk temperature of the fluid. Bulk temperature of the fluid. Further, in English units, we can write H which is our heat transfer coefficient, or in proper terms, this is convective heat transfer coefficient. It has a units of H has units in SI as watt per meter square Kelvin. In English units, it is actually known as this is for SI units, but in British system it can be represented as BTU, British thermal unit, by hour into feet square degree Fahrenheit. English system. So after this, we now approach that the convective coefficient H, which is our convective heat transfer coefficient, is a function of the system geometry, fluid and properties. So basically this H depends on the geometry, fluid properties, and flow velocity, for the temperature difference. These are all factors on which H depends, and the variation of any of these factors represents a variation in our H value. Since we know that when a fluid flows past a surface where there is a thin or almost stationary layer of film of fluid adjacent to the wall which presents most of the resistance to heat transfer, we often call the coefficient H a film coefficient in those cases. So now we demonstrate a combined example of a conduction and as well as convection and derive an overall heat transfer coefficient for both of these cases as a single phenomenon happening. In a single system, both of the phenomena are happening. So, combined convection and conduction and overall coefficient. Before starting, we draw a diagram to help illustrate this phenomena clearly in a lucid way. So, I will draw a plane wall. Side by side, I will also draw a cylindrical wall. So, how we are going to approach the problem is that suppose we are having a plane wall here, which is having a cross-sectional area normal to the heat flow or heat transfer as A. Also, we are having Q which is our heat transfer rate flowing from left to right. What do we have? Temperatures here. We are having our T1 here. This is ambient temperature of the fluid at its bulk. Then at the surface on the left hand side we are having a temperature T2. This is surface temperature, not bulk temperature. So we are having T2 which is lower than T1. Also on the other side of our plane wall we are having another temperature T3. Subsequently we are having also a T4 temperature on the other side of the bulk. Now the fluid, as we know, we are having HI on the left hand side, heat transfer, convective heat transfer coefficient of the fluid on the left hand side, and on the right hand side we are having HO. We are having the thickness of the plane wall, our plane wall as del XA. This is our del XA. Similarly, for cylindrical wall, we are having two radii. What are those radii? Radii of the inner shell, radii of the inner wall, which is Ri, I represent it as Ri. Radii of the outside wall, which is Ro. We are having area normal to the heat flow as A. We are having HO, convective heat transfer coefficient for bulk fluid outside as HO, and in the similar fashion for the inside we are having HI. We are having certain temperatures, T1 bulk temperature, T2 surface temperature on the outside of the cylindrical wall, T3 the inner cylindrical wall temperature, and T4 the inner bulk temperature. So here is our convective heat transfer, then our again conductive heat transfer, then again convective heat transfer. Similarly, in the cylindrical wall we are having convective heat transfer, conductive heat transfer, again convective heat transfer. So what do we find here? We are having a plane wall, so this is a plane wall, then I write it as this is cylindrical wall to which combined conduction and convection is occurring, and this is our plane wall. After that, in many practical situations, the surface temperature or boundary conditions at the surface are not known, but there is a fluid on both sides of the solid surfaces. We consider these figures in figure 4, this plane wall and cylindrical wall with a hot fluid at temperature T1 on the inside surface and a cold fluid at T4 on the outside surface. The convective heat coefficient on the outside HO is watt per meter square Kelvin and HI on the inside. The heat transfer rate using equations, if we now these equations. So how we can write the heat transfer with the help of convective law and Fourier's law. So let's see. So in our first phase, we are having a convective transfer. So we write Q is equal to Hi based on inner bulk temperature, inner heat transfer coefficient, bulk of the fluid, HIA, T1 minus T2. Now, then we are having conductive heat transfer, which is represented by Ka. Our material A is there, A into area, cross-sectional area, normative heat flow. We are having del XA, T2 minus T3. Again, we are having a convective transfer, which is represented by HOA, T3 minus T4. This is for our plane wall condition. Now, expressing 1 by HIA, delta XA by KA, and 1 by HOA as resistances, and combining these equations, what we can get? We can get these equations as, if we combine this, we can get here. If we do T1 minus T2, T2 minus T3, how? Let me solve this. T1 minus T2 equal to Q by HIA. Again, if we write T2 minus T3 is equal to, what do we have? We are having KAA, T2 minus T3 is Q into delta XA divided by divided by Q into delta XA divided by KAA. Again, T3 minus T4 equal to Q by HOA. So we take Q common here and express these as all these resistances, that is 1 by HIA delta XA by KAA and 1 by HOA as resistances, and combining these equations, what we get is equal to Q is equal to T1 minus T4, the overall temperature difference, that is from the fluid, outside fluid, or maybe let it be expressed inside fluid at bulk temperature, bulk fluid at temperature T1 to the inside fluid at inside bulk fluid at temperature T4. So this is T1 minus T4 divided by 1 by HIA plus delta XA by KAA plus 1 by HOA. Now, what do we observe here? Our numerator is our temperature gradient or temperature difference, and we do have our all resistances here as delta sigma R, which is what? Sigma R is our 1 by HIA plus delta XA by KA plus 1 by HOA. The overall heat transfer by combined conduction and convection is often expressed in terms of an overall heat transfer coefficient U, which is defined by Q is equal to UA delta T overall. Now, delta T overall is our T1 minus T4. This value, this guy here is our T1 minus T4, and U is our, this is overall heat transfer coefficient is our 1 by HIA plus delta XA by KA plus 1 by HO, and it has units of watt per meter square Kelvin. A more important application is heat transfer from a fluid outside a cylinder through a metal wall to a fluid inside the tube, as often occurs in heat exchangers. So using the same procedures as before, as now discussed, the overall heat transfer through the cylinder can be found out, and it can be written in the same manner derived above, which will account to Q is equal to T1 minus T4. This is for cylinder. cylindrical wall, to be specific, we are having T1 minus T4 1 by HI AI plus RO minus RI divided by KA this is log mean area, plus 1 by HO. For log mean area, please refer to my earlier video, Principles of Heat Transfer, Steady State Heat Transfer 3, part 3, where I have discussed the topic of the log mean area and how it can be equated. A cylindrical wall can be replaced with a flat wall or plain walls. This, if we write as this is our numerator, is our temperature gradient T1 minus T4 divided by sum of resistances, the combined resistance, which is our combined resistance. This is our combined resistance 1 by HI AI plus RO minus RI KLM log mean area plus 1 by HO AO, where AI represents, what is AI? AI is our lateral surface area based on the inside radius of our cylindrical wall, cylinder, hollow cylinder. So which is will be 2 pi L RI. Similarly, the log mean area can also be found out. AO is 2 pi L RO, the lateral surface area of the cylinder based on the outside radius. The overall heat transfer coefficient U for cylinder may be based on the inside area AI or the outside area A of the tube. So further we can write Q is equal to UI AI T1 minus T4. Also UO AO T1 minus T4. So to T1 minus T4, T1 minus T4 divided by summation of resistances sigma R. Now we have UI as 1 by HI plus RO minus RI divided by AI KALM plus AI by AO HO. UO can be written as 1 by AO AI HI plus RO minus RI AO KALM LM plus 1 by HO. So that's all for this video. In our next video we will discuss a simple problem in reference to this topic. And thanks for watching the video. Please subscribe to my channel and do like this video if you find it useful. Thank you very much.